Pittsburgh Steelers versus Cincinnati Bengals reaction video. This is an instant reaction to Bengals versus Steelers. Look, this is, if you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, exactly what you wanted to see. Now, I know as a betting enthusiast, shall we say, that the Pittsburgh Steelers always play a little bit better at home. And I will say I learned a little bit something when I was reviewing or previewing the Pittsburgh Steelers versus Dallas Cowboys games. A lot, to your credit, Steeler Nation, a lot of people were saying, yeah, the Steelers are going to play down to their competition. They're going to disappoint us, blah, blah, blah. Well, you're right about the Dallas game, although I would say the Pittsburgh Steelers did not play down to their competition today. They did cover the spread. I'm surprised by that, honestly. I thought that Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals would do a little bit of a better job moving the ball, but this is a character week for the Pittsburgh Steelers. After what happened against the Dallas Cowboys, they really should have housed them. They came out, and Cincinnati really couldn't get anything done. I'm just going to read you the stat line for the Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Burrow was 21 of 40, 213 yards and a touchdown. P. Ryan was 7 carries for 48 yards. You got Gio Bernard adding another 8 carries for 30 yards. That's obviously not going to get it done. Now, T. Higgins was the lone Bengal that had a nice game if you're a fantasy football player. 9 targets, 7 catches, 115 yards, including that touchdown grab. Tyler Boyd had 8 targets, 6 catches, 41 yards, which is, the catches in 6, that's pretty good, but 41 yards, I'm not surprised, but you want to see a little bit more from that if you're a fantasy football player, obviously. Tate didn't really get anything done. A.J. Green, 5 targets, no receptions. And, you basically got a Pittsburgh Steelers motivated defense at home. Pittsburgh climbs to 9-0. And you know what's funny is I still think the Pittsburgh Steelers are better. It can get better. I don't think they've really scratched the surface of what they can be. And that's pretty insane considering they're undefeated. Ben Roethlisberger today, 27 of 46. Not a great efficiency day, but still fine. Not a great efficiency day, but 27 attempts, or 27 completions, 330 yards, and 33 yards, and 4 touchdowns for Ben Roethlisberger. Big day. I can tell you, in my primary league, I rolled the dice on Ben Roethlisberger, even on the basically no week of practice. I rolled the dice on him being able to play this week, and it paid off for me. Diontae Johnson, also, I had that stack going, and I got to say this, man. Diontae Johnson leads the team. I'm sorry, he didn't. JuJu Smith-Schuster actually outcaught him. He had 9 catches, 77 yards, and a touchdown today on 13 targets. Diontae Johnson had the most yardage, 116 yards, 6 receptions, and a touchdown on 11 targets, and Chase Claypool gets 10 targets today. Only 4 catches on those 10 targets, 56 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Now, I would gripe, because I have Diontae Johnson, I would gripe and say, oh, come on, how come Diontae Johnson can't get more of those touchdowns? But when you see the physical stature of Chase Claypool, you cannot argue against basically throwing a quick slant on the goal line. That's impossible to defend. The dude's a monster. He's going to be a monster for a while. I did notice Steelers fans, tell me if I'm wrong here. I've watched the Steelers quite a bit live this season. I'm not a fan, so, I'd like to get a fan's perspective. Diontae Johnson, he drops a lot of passes that are kind of like right here. I noticed, he hit one, the ball went, I think it was a third down, maybe a second and long or something like that. I thought it was maybe a third and long, would have been a first down. I noticed that a couple weeks ago, not against the Cowboys, maybe against the Cowboys, but even 2 weeks prior to that, I forgot who they were playing. It might have even been the Browns longer ago than that, but dropped some balls. So he could have had a bigger day, Diontae Johnson. Seems like maybe there's a lapse in concentration from him. And again, it might just be me kind of passing by as a non-fan. I've just noticed it a few weeks in a row. But comment below. I'm curious to see, or curious to hear that. This was the first time in a while, I believe, that Diontae Johnson played a full game and got out-targeted by JuJu Smith-Schuster. And you see that when Roethlisberger needs a completion, he's going to Smith-Schuster and he's going to Claypool. But Diontae Johnson in that slot role, I think he's more suited, personally. I think he's more suited to play split. But again, when you got Juju on one side and Claypool on the other side, it's just an embarrassment of riches. Eric Ebron adds 2 catches, 38 yards. James Washington, who, I'm sorry, he's going to have to leave in free agency at some point, because he's the most talented guy who's the 4th receiver on a team. I mean, the Steelers from 1 to 4 in receivers are just nuts. 2 catches, 30 yards on 2 targets. James Conner adds another 2 catches. It's funny because I love James Conner as a running back. He gives you 13 carries for 36 yards, 2.8 yards per carry, and it didn't matter at all. Cincinnati did a fine job against the run, but you cannot stop this Pittsburgh Steelers passing attack. Really, I don't think any defense can. You really have to outscore them. I thought the Bengals were going to get beaten and handled in this game. I theorized that they would get a late touchdown to close the gap in the spread. So I ended up first of all, I would never have bet against Pittsburgh, but I picked in my little pick'em thing. I picked Cincinnati to cover the spread. That was obviously wrong, so I missed there. Cincinnati 2-6-1. Pittsburgh Steelers once again 9-0. Steelers fans, let me know what you think. Like I said, I think they can get better. Obviously, the criticism about them playing down to their competition, that's a real thing. Let me know what you think. Also, what do you think this team needs to do to improve? I liked what I saw from the defense today. It was nice to see them show up. They've been playing better as of late, outside of maybe the first half in the Dallas Cowboys game. And by the way, Dallas, that was their Super Bowl, so they were really looking to end the Pittsburgh Steelers' undefeated streak. But, Pittsburgh still came back and won, even with a kind of banged up Ben Roethlisberger there. Pittsburgh won again with Ben Roethlisberger only practicing, I think, on Saturday in the walkthrough. So Steelers playing well. It's really, for me, it's really them in Kansas City duking it out. Maybe another team can get hot at the end of the season as we close out. Obviously, health has a big deal, to do with that. But Pittsburgh, as I remind everybody, went 8-6 without Roethlisberger last year. With him in the lineup this year, they're 9-0. Strong team, Super Bowl contenders. Can they beat Kansas City? Pittsburgh fans, tell me, Steeler Nation, tell me, can they beat Kansas City, and how do they do it? Do they outscore them? Do they shut Kansas City's amazing offense down? And I know Kansas City hasn't been playing up to their caliber of play either, up to their standard of play. These two teams, man, if they meet in the playoffs, hopefully in the AFC Championship game, what a game that would be for a football fan. So anyway, like I said, Steelers fans, comment below. Let me know what you think you need to do to win the Super Bowl. How do you get better? I'd love to hear it. We're going to be back with some more reactions soon. Thanks, everyone. Catch you then.